Christine and Tim.
Christine, Sofran, Nitin.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so hi everyone and welcome back. We are here for our 2025 mid-year planning session. So as you guys know, every Wednesday I come on live for about 30 minutes or less, sometimes 45. And this probably will go into that time frame, but usually I come on live to be able to provide insight. So I'm your host, Christine and Tim, for the weekly webinar Wednesdays, where I come on again each week for 30 minutes or less to help share insights, information, and strategies to help you scale your business and personal brand online. Now, obviously, if you're here because you're trying to get insights and strategies to really scale effectively and scale with impact, I'm your lady. And I am doing this because as a seasoned entrepreneur, I'm a 3-time CEO. I have had the privilege of building amazing companies around the world. Maybe if you've Googled me or interacted with me on LinkedIn or on social, you have seen the journey that I have experienced in launching a global brand, global business, accelerating 1,000 entrepreneurs to market every single year through our flagship program at the Global Startup Ecosystem. You have seen the work that I've done in tech summits, launching tech ecosystems around the world. And of course, throughout that entire journey of building those businesses, really building and scaling and monetizing my personal brand with integrity and purpose along the way. And that's my hope for this generation of entrepreneurs and my commitment to being here as a mentor and guide to share the lessons that I've learned along the way. And one of the biggest things that I think that excited me about today's session is really having a planning session, not only to reflect on what's happening, but also share with you how I plan ahead when I'm looking at the state of the world, no matter what context we are in, to prepare, to plan, to execute with confidence, to execute with excitement and enthusiasm. And where everyone's going left, I'm going right. If everyone's going up, I'm going down. Like, finding the way forward in a way that speaks to your strengths, but also speaks to your credibility and authority as an entrepreneur is so important right now, because it is getting extremely overwhelming. It's getting extremely crazy in the world right now. And you need to really have, first off, an ability to be very decisive, very discerning, and very much confident in your ability to move forward in a way that really supports your constituents, your benefactors, your stakeholders, but also serves your long-term mission as an entrepreneur or as an influencer in the digital space. So without further ado, we're going to dive in because, again, we do have a lot to cover, and I want to make sure that you guys are getting as much value from this conversation as possible. So first and foremost, let's call it out. 2025, where did you go? Okay, we are officially at the midway point of the year. It's already July. Okay, like I remember like yesterday when the year just started, and so much has happened in 6 months. It will be another webinar session to describe the amount of craziness that has happened in the past 6 months, both within the tech industry specifically, which the industry that I'm in, both within global business, within the economic, social, political landscape. A lot has happened. So this conversation is also my extension to you to be able to reset and refocus and have a planning session that will bring clarity, strategy, and momentum to your efforts right now. Now, obviously, many of you could speak to this. The world's shifting very fast. And as you move into the second half of 2025, whatever goals and aspirations that you had set from January onwards, a lot of times we come into the year with a plan and we get hit in the face and then we kind of like just say, okay, what the hell just happened? And we just kind of go into a cocoon. But what I like about July is that now you're not starting from scratch. You kind of started from experience where it's like, okay, I tried this. I kind of like backed up a little bit, but I need another reset. Instead of waiting to 2026, let's do that reset right now. And a lot can happen in the next 6 months. And so this is the way that you need to figure out, okay, let me take a second chance at this year and build with a new focus, with a new approach. Okay. So this is going to be a live practical webinar, and it's meant for if you are a founder, a creator, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, a small business leader who is just trying to like really recalibrate yourself and push your way forward. This is the conversation that we're going to have. And at the center of this conversation is me reiterating to you how important to understand that in a time where rules are changing almost every second, your personal brand is going to be your most powerful currency to operate and really stand out and pull people to your mission consistently throughout the next couple of months, the next couple of years, probably in the next couple of decades, if you live to see the fruition of your aspiration, of your vision. So again, whether you're a solopreneur or someone with a mega team, this is your chance to kind of rise above everything that's happening right now and really capitalize on unique positioning and unique strategies. So with that said, let me start with the obvious challenges that I think many entrepreneurs like you and myself is facing right now that's obviously causing frustration, is obviously causing setbacks. I have heard it a lot already. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners are saying that business, marketing, sales is just not what it used to, right? And part of the reason why it's like that right now, let's talk about some of those challenges. Like clearly, the AI takeover is just crazy, right? You know, entrepreneurs, when it first came out, it was fun. It was shiny. We got ChatGPT, boom, boom, boom. Everyone's boosting their productivity levels. It is exciting. But now we feel like many of us kind of could tell that, you know, entrepreneurs are struggling to compete with those in the market who kind of like figured out something with AI. And it's just like, how do you navigate and adopt properly, right? The second thing is like content saturation. I think at this point, some of the biggest influencers have a really great content strategy to like just pump it out like crazy. And for some of you who don't believe in content burnout, don't believe in the madness around social media, it's hard to not only just keep up, but also reconcile with your sentiments around content creation in an age where binging is just the norm right now, right? Obviously, a lot of you are facing burnout, decision fatigue. There's so many different tools, courses, programs, initiatives that's going live almost every single day. And it feels like every day you have to make a million decisions at once. I know I feel that way sometimes. And we're not meant to have to process so many decisions in a short time frame. And I feel like we're constantly being bombarded with options, which is creating a lot of mental fatigue, right? Probably the biggest one that I'm getting from other entrepreneurs, and we were dealing with this in the beginning of the year as well, and we were able to figure out, and I'm going to talk about those solutions, a way to really stabilize and create consistent revenue that we could depend and grow from, is this lack of consistency in revenue, like monthly cash flow hand on hand. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are telling me straight up, because I deal with thousands of entrepreneurs every single year because of our platform at the Global Startup Ecosystem, accelerating entrepreneurs to market via our flagship annual digital startup accelerator program. We get messages and comments and information all the time that right now people are very much inconsistent with their revenue, right? It's just unpredictable. There's no stability. Some months you're able to make payroll. Some months you're just like, I don't know if we're going to make it, right? And so there's a lot of that. There's also, and probably the biggest one as well, is this conversation around how people are managing their businesses using tech tools. When I first started my first business, I wasn't so dependent on tech tools or SaaS products, right? Software products. Like, you know, you really was building business in a very lean and straightforward way, but with so many different tools, software, marketing tools, operational tools, database tools, CRM tools, and all of them are competing to give you different options. Some have more features than others. So sometimes you're combining two different products to get a certain type of outcome customized between two or three different products at once. We don't realize as entrepreneurs that we have too many different apps and software products. And what's happening is a lot of them are becoming more, I would say, mischievous with their pricing scheme. I feel like a lot of business practices are going left right now, where software, I mean, I'm talking about household brands like Google, HubSpot, right? Microsoft, their renewal practices are getting a little bit suspect, right? And so software costs are going up, ad costs are going up. So it's costing a lot more just to do business. Especially back in the day, you could have multiple software products and it would be fine. Now you have to downsource a little bit and rethink through your tech stack. And are you maximizing, first off, all your different tech tools? And second, is this the right time to use the most expensive version of certain tech tools? They may offer you the world, but do you need the world right now in a time where everyone's leaning in to downsizing and saving costs, right? And finally, aside from time management and hiring challenges, mental shifts in how people are buying products right now. Consumer behavior has shifted, and I don't think it's going back. And it's shaping how people are spending money online, and that is really affecting entrepreneurs right now. So if any of these challenges that I just stated is one that you're dealing with, I hear you. We're all in this together. We're all facing it in some capacity. Even the best of the best are on YouTube and podcasts sharing honest feedback about the state of business right now and the challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs are facing right now. So you are not alone. Any guru, any influencer, any obnoxious person on the internet telling you otherwise is on some bullshit. Okay. Everyone is navigating a lot of different roadblocks right now. And so with that said, that doesn't mean people are not succeeding. It just means that things are taking longer, things are a little bit harder, and things require a little bit more persistence than what it used to. So with that said, what trends are affecting this? Obviously, ethical practices, right? Buyers want businesses to be more sustainable, more transparent, and more honest. And I already told you, like, how people are trapping people's, credit cards to automatic renew. Maybe you thought a renewal price was at a certain price point, and they just jack the price out of nowhere, and it's already out of your account. And now you got to dispute and go back and forth with someone, right? It's like these type of ethical practices is actually across the board. People are saying that it's a trend that's taken hold that's not good, right? Compound that with this whole movement around AI productivity, and people are obviously reshaping how entrepreneurs work. You got ChatGPT, you got Notion AI, you got all these different tools to make yourself more productive. But is it overwhelming? You got a lot of entrepreneurs who are recognizing as well that they need to really build their personal brands online and position themselves as subject matter experts, in addition to being entrepreneurs, fulfilling a need of a product with a product or service through their business, right? That's very, very clear. You also see a rise of community-driven, businesses where you won't thrive if you don't have a community buying your business. It's not about having a client list anymore. People have to be really committed to your vision, in addition to your product, right? And so you see a lot of these trends are taking hold. And another big one is more conversations around burnout and conscious business building. Like, people are now starting to say, like, look, hell with the hustle movement. People are just kind of like anti-bro code. Let me do 1,000 things at once. Let me just grind until I fall. Like, that chapter and season, people are done with it. People are prioritizing wellness. People are setting boundaries. People want to be more sustainable entrepreneurs. People want to build their business with peace, with systems, with structures. So you're seeing that a lot of that bro hustle culture content is not working as much as it used to before, right? And so that's another trend in terms of content and conversations that's happening right now, where people want to build in a more conscious, sustainable way. Okay. So with that said, we're halfway through this conversation. I've addressed some of the challenges. I've addressed some of the trends briefly. Where do we go from here? And this is where I want to give you, just in the next 10 minutes, some set ways that you could prepare and plan for the second half of 2025. Okay. This is where some of you are going to get it and you're going to get right back to the drawing board and get started and start planning and go into your teams and really putting yourself out there. And some of you are just like, look, like I get it, but I'm just too overwhelmed to even really like think through. My message to those of you who are at a crossroads right now, midway through the year, and feel like a lot of things are just going crazy at the same time. My message to you is that this is the reason why we need to take a step back, evaluate, see where we are, and see where the gaps are in our business, in our efforts, in our endeavors, and then take a leap of faith to try it again, but with a different approach. That's the beauty of making a second shot at something, right? Is that you don't always know if you're going to make things better, but you do know that you're giving yourself an opportunity to do it better the second time around. So that's my hope for many of you on this call, that you're listening to this conversation with intent, with enthusiasm, and with hopefulness in your heart that you can reset your year and take yourself to the next level so you can end the year not where you started, but where you want to be. Okay. So let's talk about final point, reset and refocus, how you should plan out the next 6 months and what immediate next steps should be post this session. The first thing I'm going to say flat out, and this is something that I had to do first 3 months, I was kind of going business as usual. I realized that things weren't the way they should be. Around April, I just came out of a 90-day sprint, and has completely shifted our revenue and our ability to close more deals, more clients, more partners, more stakeholders. So I'm coming for experience with this message that the first thing you need to do is review your entire product suite as an entrepreneur. Okay. Whether it's for your personal brand, maybe you have a coaching program, a course, or what have you. Maybe it's for your business, you have multiple products. Review the entire product suite. List out all the products that you have or services that you offer. Review them, evaluate them. Are they generating sales? Are they, generating feedback? Are they doing what? Like literally walk yourself through the entire lineup. So if you have one product, evaluate it. If you have 10 products, take the time to review it. But the point is, go through it. And the most immediate thing I want you to evaluate is not just the metrics and the data and the KPIs around your product. Anyone could tell you to do that. What you want to look at is, what is the client customer journey of each product that you have, either for your personal brand or for your business? This is going to reveal so much hidden opportunities, and the reason why in this market so many entrepreneurs are struggling, because back in the day, you could just take a product, launch it to the market, make sales, and keep doing it over and over again, getting new clients. That doesn't work right now. People need to feel like you can handhold them through a journey of them finding you, connecting with you, building trust with you, then buying from you, getting follow-ups from you, and growing from you. People are more relationship driven with the products and services that they're buying. So you got to evaluate, do you even have a cold to client customer journey, onboarding journey? And I didn't realize this, but I, up until this point, did not really have a proper client onboarding journey, by the way, for all of my products. And by the way, when I looked at my product suite for my personal brand, looked at the product suites for each one of my businesses, I realized that I did not think through how each product also interacted with each other. So for example, let's say someone came in, I'll use the global startup ecosystem as an example. Let's say someone came in and they joined our digital accelerator program, which is our digital startup accelerator, which is a month-long digital accelerator program to help entrepreneurs launch an idea to market. They go through that, and we do a great job to manage that experience, give them access to world-class speakers, leaders, mentors, resources, put them through a program. They go out there, go to market, stay within our alumni funnel. We have programs throughout the year. But the point is, what's next? And it wasn't through understanding the experiences that we, the journey, that we realized there's no gap and transition from them going through our digital startup accelerator program, which is where they take an idea to market, to them now starting to get their first set of clients, first set of revenue, and like, oh, I don't know what to do next to manage the clients that I'm having. How do I scale this? How do I create operations and systems and procedures? And that's where we realize we need to launch a digital startup academy where it's for experienced entrepreneurs who are generating revenues and need to manage the tech stack, their hiring practices, and rescaling efficiently as profit revenue generating companies. Right. And then after that, how do we keep them integrated into the market every single year where they're still showcasing and engaging, where they've graduated from that program and now have a systemized way of engaging? And that's, by the way, a membership model that stays ongoing. We have our annual Digital Start Summit where they stay connected with the community, because we recognize community is probably the best asset an entrepreneur can have to grow and scale beyond content that tells them what to do. They need a community that shows them and inspires them to do right in the market. We realized we create an entire, stakeholder journey for our entrepreneurs. And now, as we look at the next set of batches coming in, we have a more experienced lineup for how they move through the journey of being with the global startup ecosystem as an institution. It's more connected now, right? Same thing with my personal brand. I realized that so many people, they interact with me through my live sessions, like webinars, my workshops, my boot camps. They love it, right? They get so much insight. I know a lot of people who follow me on LinkedIn and social media and say, Christine, I've learned so much from just following you live on sessions. And they take a leap of faith to invest and move with me to my, coaching programs. And then they're like, what's next? And I realized it wasn't until this year that I launched a monthly membership for people to stay in touch, where I can still coach them live and troubleshoot their challenges through what I call my personal brand circle, where all graduates of any program, of any of my coaching courses or consulting programs, are able to come on live for me to continue to support and mentor them throughout the year, every year, as long as they believe that they need that coaching and mentorship support. I didn't have that product until I looked at my personal brand and how people are coming in. How am I serving them, wow them, and give them my all, but what happens next? So again, I can reiterate countless examples, but what is the journey for any product that you have in the market? So that could be once you do a social media post and someone sign up in a form, and then maybe they come to a live event like a webinar, and you have a call to action of that webinar for them to, let's say buy a course or something. They come in, they do that course, you wow them, and then you follow up with them 3 months later, 6 months later. By the way, all my programs, I always have a 3 to 6 month follow-up. That's just what I do. I don't care if you bought 6 months ago, a year ago, I'm following up with you again, right? It's because I love that interaction. And then after following up, what do they need next? Do I upsell them into another product or another service that could serve them? Because they're going to find someone else to serve that need. They might as well continue the journey with me, because they already had so much value and leadership through the journey in the beginning that I want to continue down that path with them, right? So it's looking at the entire client customer onboard journey. If you go back and look at your products or services through that lens, you're going to immediately see gaps of opportunities. And by the way, you're also going to communicate differently to the market and to your constituents. And what we've been doing in the past 90 days is also going back, reaching out to all previous clients, all previous people who've been a part of the community, and even announce to them, here's the new journey on how to interact with us. I relaunched my newsletter. I relaunched my product suite, everything. And it's been an amazing experience to see all the hidden cash flows and opportunities, first off, as an entrepreneur, that I was losing out on the table by not doing this. But second, how it actually simplified our operational pull to have that threat. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm not going to reiterate this more than needs to, but it's like I'm beating on a dead horse. You need to downsize your tech stack. No more 20, 30 plus different software tools. That ends today. I suggest you have no more than 3 to 5 max in terms of software products for your business. It's absolutely unnecessary, especially for those who have anywhere from 0 to 10 million. You don't need a lot, okay? You need a CRM to manage your database. That's the most valuable asset you have for your business, is the context that you have. Maybe you need a live stream software to be able to go live, because now we are living in an era where people need to interact with your brand in some shape or form, live, through an event, through a conversion, through a conversation. You need to go live. I'm sorry, you can't avoid it. And then maybe you have an internal communication channel like Slack, an external communication channel like your Gmail, Google Workspace, and then a fifth one that maybe you need to optimize in some shape or form. For us, we use like Asana to be able to manage projects. But other than that, no more than 3 to 5 tools. Okay. That way you're saving money, but you're also saving gaps of productivity that's going out the door just because you're doing the most at 2 main different levels. So that's the second thing. The third thing that you need to do, and this speaks to my earlier mission, because we are living in a time where people are more skeptical. People have lost trust in the market. People need to feel like they're building relationships with the products and services that you're using. Think about your last purchase and think about the services that you're investing in. You felt like you need to interact in some shape or form with the owner, the founder, or the team in some capacity, right? So the third thing that you're going to do immediately after this call is institute an active, live, ongoing virtual calendar. What do I mean by this? You are going to have to, and I'm telling you this, all entrepreneurs, don't kill the messenger, but it's the truth of the matter. If you haven't been doing this, you're going to have to start doing it. And if you're doing it, but you're doing it half-off, you're going to have to take it more seriously. Just commit to showing up live, virtually, in person, privately through Zoom, or live on social media. Interact with the public so they could get to know you as a person, and by default get to know your product or service. You need to have continuously throughout the year trust building connection events that convert to sales, either on a weekly basis through webinars like what I do on a regular basis, or through monthly master classes where you're teaching something, giving something of value, and inviting people to the solutions that you have. End of story. You need to be doing some type of frequency. For those of you who feel overwhelmed, maybe you can't do weekly, do the monthly for now, right? For those of you who want to take a shot, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe every week. But the point is, you have to now have a calendar and say, okay, July, here are the 4 times I'm going to go live, interact with my audience, and the call to action is sign up for my bootcamp program, sign up for my this, sign up for our demo product. Like literally, you have to go live. People need to feel like they're dealing with a person right now. It's non-negotiable. And this is something that I know is not talked about a lot in the market, like this essence of having an ongoing virtual calendar where you're doing live interacting events, but it's the truth, okay? And these don't have to be complicated. They could be anything from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to 60 minutes and above, but it's you going live and interacting with your audience so that way they build rapport and indirectly be able to want to engage with your products and services. And last but not least, this is probably another surprising one. Because trust is so hard in the market, I have a lot of high ticket offerings in my product suite as an entrepreneur who's been in the game for so long. I mean, the most affordable way to work with me in any type of offline capacity starts at 2005. And it works its way up to 5K, 10K, even I have a 20K product for an annual fellowship program to work with me privately, okay? This market, you can still sell those high ticket products. However, now you need to have a front facing product that is below $100 that people could feel like, let me get to know what you really are. Let me invest in a small way to see if you're really about this. And then I can invest into higher paying programs. So what I mean by this, like every single entrepreneur on this call, whether it's for your personal brand or your business, needs to have a product that builds trust with your brand, and it has to be less than $100. Okay. And what I mean by this is that I have a product that I launched the other day. It's like $47. It's not worth $47. It's worth thousands. Right. But I know I'm going to give so much effort and so much value in that $47 that the logical next step is to work with me at a higher premium, because if you get so much out of 2 days of working with me for $47, you're going to like be at a point where you're just like, look, like thousands is nothing just to get a time frame with you. And that has shifted. A couple of years ago, you know, straight to market at a high ticket, it was fine. But now people need to see what do you really know what you're talking about? Okay. Is your product or service really doing what it says it's going to do? People need to build that trust. So it's called having a front-facing product that builds trust with your brand. And that's it. Okay. And so these are the 4 main things that you need to do immediately. And this will take you no more than an hour to first and foremost review your product suite. Just to recap, review your product suite and see if there's a customer experience journey onboarding from when they interact with you to when they buy. Second, are you evaluating and really looking at downsizing your tech stack so make sure you're managing your business and your constituents properly? Third, do you have a way of interacting with the community or with the public in an ongoing way so you're constantly creating trust and engagement and converting people into your products and services? And fourth, do you have an entry product where people get to know you, know how phenomenal you are, right? And this is not some passive automation thing. This is something where they get to know you, get to know your brand, and want to work with you for it. Those are the four immediate things. You do these four things, the next 6 months is going to be completely different for you. And being disciplined about this process and doing it over and over again. And so hopefully that was really valuable to you for you guys to understand the layout of being able to plan out the next 6 months in a way that's strategic so you can generate more sales, more revenue, but also build more trust and more credibility in a market that's oversaturated with fools. Let me just get straight to the point. We got too many crazy people out here. And so we need you guys to step up. Unfortunately, we are all paying the price of those fools, but the best always rise to the top. If you're really about what you're saying, it should be a no-brainer. What I just shared with you, I don't find it hard to do. I like interacting with my customers. I like going live. I like, and not live in a attention type of way. I love sharing insight to add value, right? And I'm not talking value like I want to add value. I mean, no, like really, are you giving people something that they could really move forward with, right? And so with that said, what would be your next steps? Go back, evaluate, and revision. Now, some of you, I already know what your immediate next step is going to be after you do that evaluation. Look at your tech stack, look at your product suite, see is the customer journey, and then look at creating a virtual calendar. You're like, okay, but how am I going to create that trust building product that's going to get people to say like, hey, I want to work with you, right? Usually what I know people say, what's next? Like, okay, let me help you launch a product into the market the right way with your personal brand. And so I do want to say that I can invite you to work with me in a live workshop capacity for 2 days. This invitation is for all of you who are on the session live. If you are trying to figure this out, don't figure it out by yourself. I've been through it. I've had so many different iterations this year. A lot has happened. I learned, first off, I've been building digital products and selling products as an entrepreneur across different companies, both with my companies and my personal brand for over 10 plus years. So I've been in this game to tell you I'm seasoned and seen a lot in this market. Let me help you launch a product to market that makes sense, that gets you off the ground, especially when it comes to your personal brand, where it's the entry gateway for people to get to know you and the business that you have. Okay. So I want to invite all of you to be able to join me. This is by far, bar none, the ultimate step-by-step workshop for any entrepreneur who's on the call. If that's you, creator, expert, business owner who is ready to turn their knowledge into income and want to learn how to package and launch a high value digital offer in one of three ways. Because I don't get into the fluff and saying, here's 100 ways to monetize your brands. I'm not doing that. The 3 ways I'm going to teach you how to go live, because it's the easiest 3 ways and the most profitable and quickest 3 ways that a lot of people are able to do, majority in the market, is 1, consulting services, where people can consult with you one-on-one, or a coaching program, or online course that's live and turns on demand. Even if you start from scratch, if you never did this before, I can help you discover what product model fits for you. I think too many people are trying too many different things and don't try to build digital products that fits their lifestyle, their schedule, but also their expertise and what they are able to go out to market. Some people are really good at launching a course. Some people, they should be doing consulting one-on-one sessions. Some people, they should be mentoring, coaching, right? We will figure out during this session workshop how to be able to do that from scratch. And how to make it fit for you. And after we do that, then we're going to build out your irresistible product offer, right? And I'm going to go over your title, your description, your outcome, your why, to make sure that it's customized to you. And then once we're done with that, then the next step is like, how do you announce it to the market? I'll give you obviously a way to announce it via email, via social, via webinars, but give you the blueprint to be able to be confident to create something that really resonates with you and your brand to launch the market, but also more importantly, give you the blueprint to announce it so that way you can start generating revenue and building a gateway for trust into your entire product suite. And that's my message to all of you, that if you're ready to take yourself to the next level and be able to do that, I'm here to support you with that. So the link is in the chat if that's the next step you want to take after, evaluating your product suite and say, hey, I need to come out to the market a little bit more responsible and a little bit more integrated with the state of affairs. How do I do that? Join me next after the session for a live workshop. I look forward to supporting you along this journey. And in conclusion, this can be a phenomenal year for you. I don't think any of you could attest to the fact that it's not been a crazy year. It has, but there's so much windows of opportunity. I think this is a great time for the best to separate from the crazy, right? And I know a lot of my followers, a lot of people that sign up for my programs and live trainings are ambitious, committed, and really exciting entrepreneurs who are passionate about the work that they do and want to leave a legacy. So if that's you and you've got a lot out of this session on how to plan out the next 6 months, and you want to take action with me to help you launch that first digital offer to start building trust in a market that's losing so much credibility, but you want to be that one that stand out and do it well, I got you. I look forward to welcoming you to that live workshop. The link is in the chat. Definitely join me. And without further ado, thank you so much for the mid-year planning session. I look forward to seeing you next quarter to give you more insights and ways to rock out and be the entrepreneur that you were meant to be. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm Christine and Tim. Over and out. See you soon. Bye.
But this world, as big as it is, one person can be the tipping scale to really create a domino effect that no one ever seen coming. I would like to remind people, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to judge you.